When we talk about online communities now, a lot of us think of Facebook. And this is where I get to tell you a bit of a bummer story. Everybody has to have one of those in their talk, right? The low point so we can get to the climax at the end. I didn't go to school as a teenager. I am what they call unschooled, self-educated, mostly self-taught. And so I had a bit of an odd upbringing. But part of my upbringing was that I went to a summer camp every year for unschooled teenagers. It's about as close as I have to a high school graduating class. Those people are some of my closest friends, and we're still in touch today. We started this really amazing online community back in 1996. Wikis were becoming popular, and we set a wiki up. We customized the heck out of it. We new borders and CSS when it came out, and animations, the kinds of things that you would expect teenagers to do with new technology. And it had its own set of in-jokes, and it had some really heartfelt late-night communication and conversations between teenagers who were just getting to know themselves and the world. Some of the most intimate conversations I've ever had were right there out in the open on a wiki that didn't even have a login system. Not all of us were even that tech-savvy. Those of us who were tech-savvy did not even dominate the group, but those of us who were tech-savvy taught the others. And then came the spammers. Pages would get overwritten by random messages about Viagra. Spammers have no connection at all to community. That's the reason it has persisted so long. They permeate what would otherwise be empty space with banal advertising. They really do just fill the empty space. So we locked it down a bit and we carry on for a couple of years. And then comes Facebook. It's this really kind of a neat site. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. So you can upload pictures, and they have these kind of forums. They're a little bit different, and they started letting people who aren't at colleges use it finally. Well, anyway, you know what communities are going to do. They're going to adopt a new technology. So for a while, the wiki community is fine. Things slow down a little bit. New folks don't find it quite as easily as they used to. And then when they get there, they don't actually understand it the way that they used to. They don't engage with the technology because they have some new expectations. The creativity slows down, and it eventually stops. People post to Facebook, but it gets redesigned a bunch of times, and it's never quite right, and it never quite suits our community. And it's definitely not as intimate. Nobody can go translate the user interface into one of the other campers' made-up languages. You can't take over the platform. And I wish I could say that the bummer stops there. Facebook absorbing the community and all in it, but it doesn't. So over the years, we grow up. We go our own ways. Some of my friends are real back-to-the-land types and don't get on the internet very much, and the community I know and love faded away. Or does it? It turns out that Facebook had started optimizing for locality and for attention. And at this point, I lived in Colorado, and most of my unschooler friends lived on the West Coast. My social graph has this gigantic split down the middle. On one side, I have the townies from the town around me, and on the other side, I have these unschoolers at a distance up and down the West Coast. And since there's not much overlap, and because I live in Colorado, Facebook decides that those are the people I want to see, and it shows me only the posts from the townies. It turns out that I had missed out on hundreds of connections with friends from the unschooler community. The community was still there. Births and deaths, weddings, divorces, comings out and transitions. All of those things were there, and I had just been missing out because Facebook had decided that I didn't need to see those posts. The people that Facebook saw as more closely connected with each other were still happily sharing with each other. They attended each other's weddings, they shared pictures with each other. Facebook just stopped showing me any of those. And I wonder how many other people have been alienated from community by a technological decision.